I'm going to show you 4 simple shifts to easily create your own compositions, take your music to the next level. And here's the key: without any experience, talent, or creativity. And I know that might sound like a little loco, but as you roll with me here, you're going to see that it's actually, it's not really makes a lot of sense. But we'll get there when we get there. And so I'm going to show you how to take your compositions to the next level without any experience, talent, or creativity. So if you've been interested in creating compositions for a day, week, or years, this session will absolutely explode your mind and your ability to create. And you're going to have a very real step towards actually being able to take your own composition to the next level and an even deeper level in your music journey. So the time we're going to spend here is designed for 2 types of gamers. Either you're just starting out, you've never really created a composition before yesterday, and if this is the case for you, you're going to get a clear understanding of how to easily craft your own music without needing prior experience, talent, or creativity. And if you followed all the steps in this challenge and you made your first composition yesterday, I want to be, well, not the first, but not even the second. But again, I just want to congratulate you again. That's awesome. Super stoked for you. Well done. Now, if you've already been creating music for a little while, you're going to discover how to elevate your skills and take your music to the next level. This is for you. Okay, you're going to understand why talent doesn't matter, how to be creative at the drop of a hat. What I'm going to share with you today will save you years of frustration and wasted time, but it still requires work. It's true. It's going to take work. It's going to take focus. Your success or failure to use these tools I'm about to share with you, it really does depend on you. There's no magic pill you can instantly take and become better at creating compositions. I can get you there faster, but you've got to take action. So by investing the next couple of minutes of your time here, you're going to see how you can easily create your own compositions without talent. Even if you don't think you're a creative person, you're going to make some real progress, save hundreds of hours of wasted time and thousands of wasted dollars. And at the end, I'll show you the way that we help gamers do all of this. All right, so type yes in the chat if it's okay. A little later, if I give you some tough love coaching. It's not going to happen right now, but I'm going to ask your permission right now. And I'll remind you right before I do it. All right. I see those yeses. Fantastic. Okay. So after this presentation, you're going to know how to easily create your own compositions and take your music to the next level. Period. Full stop. Now, if you've been struggling to put the pieces together to create your own compositions, or you just don't know where to start, it's not your fault. This is really important to understand. There's nothing wrong with you. There's not some mystical, magical thing out in the universe that's against you. There's just a ton of information that's out there and can be really confusing when you're hearing different ideas from different people. And it can feel overwhelming when you hear a piece of music and you don't know how you can create something like that, or you just have no clue how to go from an idea through a finished composition. And if you're having trouble getting compositions to work for you, you feel like you're always hitting a wall, I want to put those fears to rest right now. You can, C-A-N, can create amazing, incredible, emotional compositions at the drop of a hat. You just need the right tools and, in my opinion, the right person to explain it to you. Now, many of you have already proved this to be true in this challenge by creating your first composition in under 90 minutes. Now, you may have heard people say that you need to be talented or gifted to create music. Now, this just isn't true. Talent does not matter, and I'll actually back up that claim a little bit later and show you why. So here's my big question for you. Are you secretly scared? And maybe you don't want to use the word scared. Maybe you're like me, you don't want to use the word scared. You want to, I'm concerned. I have a concern. I'm not scared. I have a concern. So maybe you're concerned, maybe you're scared that deep down, you just don't have what it takes to create music or make music at the level that you want, or to really express your heart with music. And again, if you don't want to use the word scared, we can use the word concerned. That's what I use. So for a moment, I invite you to imagine a world where you can easily create your own compositions quickly without getting stuck. You bypass talent. You can be creative wherever you want, whenever you want, even if you're not a creative person, or if you don't think of yourself as being a creative person. Imagine that world where you can just, boom, just create compositions. How cool would that be? You can share your music with people you love and people you want to impress. And studies show that people who actually create music are more confident in themselves in all areas of music. So why would you listen to me? Well, in the past 15 years, I've had the opportunity to teach hundreds of students. I have reached over 20 million views of my content on YouTube, teaching music, 5 of my music books, actually 6 now. I've hit #1 bestseller in the categories on Amazon. I've written and co-written hundreds of songs. Dozens of those have released onto record labels or released independent. by myself, and some of those have made it onto indie charts like Beatport and Tracksource. And I've also advised on and guided other songs by other artists to reach iTunes Top 10 and Nashville charts. And most important for us here now, I've actually contributed compositions to indie OSTs, and I've also helped gamers just like you go from zero experience creating music to having their music on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music in just an average of 65 days, as well as getting their first jobs as indie composers. Now, my first gamer clients have released a whole bunch of professional releases this year alone. I think we're at about 28. I'll have the numbers for you later so I can show you exactly where we're at today, as of today, because that number does change almost daily. And today we're going to do a deep dive into 4 secret composing shifts. So number 1 is going to be how to easily create compositions. Number 2 is why talent does not matter for creating compositions. Number 3 is going to be how to be creative and create compositions anytime, anywhere, even if you're not a creative person. And number 4 is going to be the 3 ways you can get better at music so you can take yourself and your compositions to the next level. So I found this way of easily creating music when I got serious about music when I was 17 years old. And I know I've got a little bit of a baby face, but I'm actually 34 now. I've been around the block a couple times. And so I decided to go to music school, and I got accepted into Berklee College of Music and went to their sister school, Music Academy International in France, where I became proficient in the modern tools for creating compositions called music theory. And after I received my diploma certificate from that first school, I returned to the United States, where I went to a second school to get a liberal arts degree. And I actually failed to test out of a simple 101 class in the second school that I went to. And this class was talking about these same music theory tools that I learned in my first school. What happened? It didn't make sense. All right, picture this. I spent 10 years learning everything I can about music theory. I'm there in the back of biology class in high school doing music theory doodles in my notebook instead of taking notes on biology. I'm going to gym class. I'm faking that I have a sprained ankle so I can sit on the bleachers, do music theory. Then I go to school, I get a degree in music theory, and then I go to a second school, and then I can't even test out of a 101 class. And I'd like to think I'm not stupid. You ask my little sister, she might tell you a different story, but I'd like to think that I'm not stupid. So it really didn't make sense, right? Because it wasn't just that I was doing this music theory stuff. I was also out, like you see this picture here, that's real baby face. That's me playing gigs when I was like 18, 19, 20. Right? So it didn't make sense. How on earth was I failing to test out of a basic 101 class? It just didn't make sense. So I realized the reason why I couldn't test out of it was because there's actually 2 separate ways of looking at these music theory tools, classical and modern. And these 2 ways of understanding music start at opposite ends of everything you need to know about creating music, and then kind of pass each other like 2 trains going in the opposite direction. And so I failed to test out of the class at the time because I knew the modern tools for music theory, but I didn't know the classical ones. And so my aha moment was like, oh my gosh, I get it now, was when I said to myself, look, this doesn't make sense. Why do we have 2 different systems? Why do we have 2 different trains going in 2 different directions? When we could just take the best of modern and the best of classical, combine them together so anyone can get how to read, write, and understand music quickly and easily from day one. So I connected these 2 types of music theory for myself, and then I tested this combination out on dozens of students. And after years of refining, I distilled this system into books that became #1 bestsellers on Amazon that have now sold over 7,000 copies. That 5,000 copy was from last year or the year before, as well as courses and software. So here's how music theory applies to creating compositions. Music theory is a tool. You could build a house without any tools. It has been done. But if you have a saw, a hammer, and a nail gun, you're going to build a house much faster and have many more choices about how you build the house than you would using no tools. Now, you don't need to invest years into learning this music theory. You can get it in just a couple of hours. And then you can create compositions in almost any genre for the rest of your life. And the reason why I say almost any genre is because, objectively speaking, I cannot claim that you're going to be able to create compositions in any genre, because new genres are being created every single day. And some of them are specifically made to be totally without rules. And it's just totally, it's like Jackson Pollock just throwing paint at the wall. All right. So I say almost any genre because I also want to be totally truthful with you. I don't want to say it's 99.999% of genre, because it might be 99.999. You feel me? but it's most genres. You name the genre, you can use music theory to create it, right? Just to be clear, that's why I'm saying almost any genre. I just want to be 100% with you. One, if that makes sense in the chat, please. Yeah, okay, cool. You guys get it. So I'm right. Sweet. I don't want to say absolutely any genre because I don't want to say something that you can, then you're going to sit there and go, wait, I can think of like 2 genres right now where it's like someone with a paper cup, just like recording the sound of a wind in a paper cup. And I don't think you need music theory for that. And you'd be right. All right, so here's a quick story about how I'm not the first person to recommend music theory for producing and composing music. Wyclef Jean grows up in Haiti, and without taking any music lessons, he starts making music on raw passion alone. Wyclef Jean becomes a founding member of the band The Fugees, and he goes on to compose and produce many top songs, including a platinum certified album and co-writing the Billboard Hot 100 single "Hips Don't Lie" by Shakira. Shakira fans in the house? No? Okay. So where did Wyclef learn the theory he needed to create this music if he didn't take any music lessons along the way? Well, here's the thing. He actually did take some music lessons, but not in the way that you might think. Wyclef learned music theory from Quincy Jones, one of the greatest producers of all time, and Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest musicians, producers, composers, and songwriters of all time. While he worked with them in recording studios, that's where he got his music lessons. Now, Wyclef uses music theory to craft productions, compositions, and songs, and he passes it along to the artists that he works with. Wyclef actually said this about music theory, and before I share this quote with you, I need to tell you one thing. If you ever have the opportunity to go rent out a recording studio for a couple hours, maybe you're just going to go film a little composer interview in there where like you kind of sit there and you talk about your art and it's in a recording studio. Maybe you're actually recording something there. Whatever you're doing, to rent out that space is going to run you between, depends on the space, usually $100 to $400 an hour. And that's not including actually paying for people to be there to help run all the equipment. So understand that what I'm about to tell you, Wyclef is actually doing what I'm about to share with you while a $100 to $400 an hour clock is burning the time. That's how important what I'm about to tell you is. So think like $400 an hour. All right? $400 an hour. Check this out. The theory is important. I really need you to study this. It's very important. Music is so vast. When I'm in the studio paying $400 an hour, it is my job to pass on the information. End quote. So think about how valuable the music theory is that when the time is running, you're getting billed $400 an hour. He's still taking time off of that clock to teach music theory. That's how important and valuable it is. So if someone like Wyclef, who possesses a mountain of raw passion and desire to create music, still uses music theory to create music and talks about how important it is to learn it and how he makes sure that anyone he works with learns it too, imagine what music theory could do for you regardless of your current levels of talent, passion, and composing experience. So this is actually a little math equation I like. Music theory equals create conscious compositions. That's it. If you understand music theory, you can create compositions with intention. You can have a vision and see that vision through to the final result instead of just creating nothing and throwing spaghetti at a wall and then feeling all those complicated things inside of yourself like, oh, I'm not good enough. I knew this wasn't going to work out. All those things. It's just because you're not following the vision that you had. And the reason you're not following the vision that you had is because you don't have the tools to know what that vision even is fully. So I'll tell you a little story about this night. You see in this photo. So in 2013, a recording artist heard me play and sing at this event, invited me to a studio date of theirs to help them record their next song. And this artist could not find their notes for their melody. So the way it works is you have a DJ will put together a whole, like basically they'll create a composition. And then they send that composition to the artist and the artist will sing over the composition and make up the words. I had to help this artist who was already established, already had pieces of music released, figure out their melody in the studio using home tones and away tones, right? Using my, adventure tones, using my knowledge of music theory. And at that moment, standing behind those double pane glass in the studio, they're kind of like this. I'm standing in the control room of the studio. I'm going, oh my gosh, this is insane. We're burning studio time here. And this guy could have figured this out in like 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes of music theory, this problem would have been solved. I realized how many people are in this same situation. All right, this artist was lost, kind of like he was in a room where all the lights were off and he couldn't find his way back to his own music. So music theory is like turning the lights on in a room so you can see where your music is, all its parts, how to change it, how to make it better, and own your creative process from start to finish. So how do we do this? The strategy is pretty simple. You get how music works with proven music theory methods, which show you how to understand music. You get enough light bulbs in the ceiling so you can actually see what's going on in the music that you want to create. Now, you might be thinking that music theory does not sound like a good tool to express yourself. But the more music theory you know, the more exact you can be with how you express yourself. It's like using more words than just I'm happy or I'm sad. Sometimes you feel passion, right? Passion's different than happy. But the only way you can express that you're feeling passion is because you know the word passion. Music theory gives you a larger music vocabulary so you can express more emotions, so you can relate to more people and create more dynamic music in more genres and styles. So look, maybe you feel that you prefer to find your own way without music theory. That's kind of like saying, well, I want to build a house without any tools. Are you getting this? Type yes in the comments if you are getting this. Okay, so look, after hearing about how powerful music theory is for composing, you might be thinking that a lack of talent is actually what's holding you back from creating compositions. Now, the truth is talent does not matter. I'm going to tell you a story about this. So I was brought in to work with we call them prodigies. So a prodigy is when there's a kid who's like 5, 6, 7 years old and can play as good or better than adults. And this kid was a piano prodigy. And I got brought in to teach this kid guitar. Why were you brought in to teach a piano prodigy guitar, Dan? He wanted to play guitar and he was doing a terrible job of it. He developed terrible habits. So I was brought in to teach him. So even though he was ridiculously talented, and we're going to talk about what talent is in a minute, all that talent didn't help him stop bad habits. All that talent didn't help him stay motivated to continue growing in music. Talent didn't help him have patience to do what was required to do to get better at music. Talent didn't help him make plans or set goals. Talent didn't help him make time for music. And what's really cool is that if we flip this around, that means even if you are literally the least talented person alive on this planet right now, even if you are the least talented person to have ever been born, that's a lot of people. Even if you are the least talented person who ever will be born, ever in the history of humankind, even if you are the least talented, you can still stop and avoid bad habits, know what to learn next, stay motivated to continue growing in music, have patience to do what is required to get better at music, make plans and set goals, make time for music. And if you do these 6 things, you will get better at music, and talent does not matter. Period. Full stop. Over the past 15 years of teaching hundreds of students, I've seen the least and most talented people start and get better at music. And I will tell you, talent does not matter. What matters is if you take action. See, everyone has musical potential. It's kind of like gas for your car. So you see, we have this gas pump. It's full of musical potential. But no matter how much talent you have, you must take action to put that musical potential toward a goal, kind of like putting gas in your car, like composing compositions, right? So we have our talent. We got to take action to get anywhere we want to go. All right. So we have talent. We take action that drives us to the place we want to go. And even if we have no talent, when we take action, we're still going to go to where we want to go. That's the beautiful thing. So your music potential is moved by action, not by talent. So when you take action, that's what fills up your tank so you can go to your next goal. So talent really just means 2 things. Number 1, you can take less action and get the same result, or you get the same result in less time. In other words, talent is a shortcut. But just because some people take a shortcut doesn't mean that it's not worth it for you to create compositions, though, right? Like, this is not about them or me. This is about you. Like, you still visit family, even though you need to take time to travel and see them. You can't take a shortcut. We don't have a warp drive yet. You can just like pop on the floor and appear in Aunt Josephine's living room. You do it because it's worth it. And I will tell you that the joy of carving and crafting compositions out of thin air is worth it too. Now, talented people like Nobuo Uematsu, composer of the Final Fantasy games, took two primary actions: listening and experimenting. Now, because of his talent, this gave him a shortcut. And do not miss this. Hear me now. He had years of time to learn and experiment. There was no phones. There was just a TV. Like there weren't even really game consoles were just starting out when this guy was learning to create music. He did not have distractions, guys. He has a lot of time, lots of time to just practice. Okay, so these two actions were enough to get him to his goals. Now, the rest of us can also create compositions just by listening to music and experimenting, but it takes, again, regardless of talent, it takes years to do. Hear me on this. Years. And you need to spend a lot of time during those years. It's not just you wait 10 years. You got to spend like 6, 7, 8 hours a day for all those 10 years working on it to get there. And even then, there's no guarantee that you're going to get there at all. Real talk. So what do? We take more types of action by using accountability, books, courses, software, coaching. Also, listening and experimenting to reach our goals in less time. It's like putting more gas in your car faster so you can hurry up and get there already. It is the shortcut you take. Action is the shortcut. Talent does not matter. Now, obviously, you might be thinking, well, Dan, hang on a second. You just told me you sell books. I also looked at your website. Seems like you sell courses and coaching. So, of course, you're going to tell me that courses, books, and coaching are the answer to this. Of course you are, because that's what you sell. Look, it's true. I do sell all of those things. But they're also the best solutions that have been proven to work together at the same time over the past hundreds of years to get people better at any skill in any arena. That's why I sell them. It's to help people. Now, you might be saying, well, Dan, that's all well and good, but I don't think I'm a talented person. Okay, let's examine that for a moment. How many music lessons have you taught where you saw people coming in on day one so you could really get a feeling for what talented versus not talented looks like? And then how many lessons have you taught in music where you saw people progress over 6 months, 6 years, who started out talented versus not talented so you could see those results? I'm guessing not many. And because you haven't had that exposure to the pattern of what actually is talented versus what is not actually talented, and what talent versus not talent looks like on day 1 versus day 30 versus year 2 versus year 6, I respectfully invite you to consider that perhaps you don't actually have the adequate patterns inside of your mind to judge yourself whether you're talented or not. Second, if you've been listening to music most of your life and this level of action has not gotten to your goal, with the little bit of experimenting you've done, instead of asking or thinking, am I good? Am I bad? Am I talented? Am I creative? Instead, just ask yourself one question. What action am I taking right now to get me to my dream music goal? And then the second question you ask is, okay, is that working? And you ask that question like 2 weeks later. Now, obviously, if you're working with a coach, that's another story. Or if you're working with a book or course, that's another story. And we'll talk about that in a little later. Now, look, you just need to take actions beyond just listening to music. You'll get to where you want to go. Actions are going to be like reading books, taking courses, using software. I don't sell software, using software. Apps. I don't sell apps, using apps. Coaching, accountability. You've got to take action with different things. All right, is this exciting? Type a 1 at the comments if you're feeling excited, because you can see that talent does not matter for you to achieve your dream of creating compositions. It really, really does not matter. Like, not at all. Not even a little bit. Like, no bearing. All right, so now you understand how you can use music theory to easily create compositions, and how talent does not matter, and how you can take a shortcut to get results by using books, courses, coaching, software, and accountability. You might be thinking, well, Dan, that sounds all well and good, but what if I can't be creative? Ooh, well, this is where we look to the classical music theory and apply it to compositions. Remember how we said we're going to take the best of both, modern and classical, and combine them together to get you to goals faster? Well, here, the great classical composers figured it out a long time ago, how to make sure that they were never not creative. They used a certain number of music tricks. Beethoven does this with his 4-note rhythm idea in his Fifth Symphony. He goes pa 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 pa. All right, pa 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 becomes one of the most famous pieces of music ever when he goes pa 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 pa. Oh, now you recognize it. Pa 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 pa. Now he changes it. Pa 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 pa. A little faster. Changes it again. Pa 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 pa. Changes it again. Ba, 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 ba. So one of the most famous pieces of music in all of history is based off of 4 short rhythms. And all you have to do is have a couple tools where you just know how to change that. That's it. Does that make sense? Type a yes in the comments if you are getting this. Okay. So look, once you understand the basics of music theory, it's so easy and simple. Take a small idea and turn it into a full composition. And then you can learn all of this that I'm sharing with you in just a couple of hours. Real talk, real talk, just a couple of hours. So look, now that you understand that you can use music theory to easily create compositions, talent does not matter. You can be creative anytime. And it's important to understand there's only 3 things you can do to get better at music. Number 1, invest focus. Number 2, invest time. Number 3, invest money. So focusing is like how a car uses up gas as you drive it. Your brain uses natural chemicals as a fuel to power your focus. Once those chemicals are used up, you don't feel like you can focus anymore. Like you go to work, you have a long day at work, you come home. Do you want to think about stuff? No, your chemicals for focus, they're all used up. You just want to relax. Make sense? Okay, now let's talk about your time. Like your focus, time is a limited resource. Everyone gets 24 hours in the day, and managing your time, also known as how you invest your time, is key for getting better at music. And you want to spend the time on the right things that will move you forward towards your goal. The cool thing is, real talk of real talk. You can start with 5 minutes a day and move toward a goal. And once 5 minutes feels manageable, then it's 10. And look, if you can dedicate 30 to 60 minutes a day, you will be flying with rocket fuel towards making your dreams come true with music. Now, the last thing you can do to get better at music is invest money. When you invest money, you're going to get better at music by doing 2 things. Number 1, you're going to get back your time. And number 2, you're going to get back your focus as well. Why? Well, let's think about it this way. When you work with a book, course, teacher, software, app, you save time and focus because you have a proven method that does a lot of the work for you to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. The book, course, teacher, software, app, whatever it is, shows you how much action to take and which types of action to take to get to your goal so you don't waste time and focus on the wrong things. For example, I invested over, brace yourself, $100,000 on music school and private lessons and instruments and gear. From there, I've written hundreds of songs and compositions, taken dozens of those creations through ideas for release for myself and other artists, played gigs, performed around the world, reached millions of views on YouTube, composed music that's going in video games, and I invested money in my music education to save myself time and focus to get me to where I wanted to go, to get myself the results that I wanted for my life. You getting this? Type 1 in the comments if this is making sense to you. Now, I want you to think about one thing for just a minute. What is money? A lot of people have fear around money and even bigger fears about spending money. But you need to understand that money is fundamentally, it's neutral. It's just a tool that was created for exchange. It's not good. It's not bad. Other than that, there's no real value in money. You can't use it to stay warm. You can't eat it. You can only trade it for something else that you want. Just think everyone who exchanges money does exchange it for something, does it because they believe that what they're getting in exchange is greater than keeping the money or using it for something else. At least that's what I expect when I buy something. I don't actually know for sure until I do buy it, try it out, and see the results. My question for you is this: would you exchange money for being able to easily create compositions? The answer is yes. Then it is my belief that you should invest in yourself to get the results that you want now. So today I promise to show you how to easily write your own compositions regardless of your experience, talent, and creativity. And you've learned 4 shifts. Shift 1, how to easily create compositions. 2, talent does not matter. 3, how to be creative. And 4, the 3 things you can do to get better at music. But let me ask you a question. If you follow what I showed you in shift 1 and use just a couple of hours of some simple music theory, using only what you need to know to create compositions and understand how music works, then you applied what I showed you in shift 2 and you just took action because there's nothing holding you back other than you just taking action. And then use shift 3 to be creative anytime, anywhere, using, again, just a couple hours more of music theory, just a couple simple bits. And then finally, use what I showed you in shift 4 to save yourself time and focus. Do you think you'd be successful in creating compositions? All right. How many of you are excited about what we just talked about? Type a 1 in the comments if you are feeling excited. King of Minds, Lightning, Wanna be Yako. Okay. How many of you are feeling a little overwhelmed because we covered so much? Type a 2 in the comments if you're feeling like you just drank out of a fire hose. Okay. Well, look, you got a choice. We've covered a lot of information, and I've shared 4 life-changing composition shifts with you. Starting now, you can create a future you have confidence in. You can use your passion to create compositions in a reliable way, being creative whenever you want, allowing you to make as many compositions as you desire, or you can continue on as you are. And if you're feeling like you might want to stay where you're at, my only question for you is why? You only have one life, and tomorrow isn't guaranteed to anyone. If creating compositions is something you want to do it. Take action. And if you're feeling fear inside of yourself because you think, oh my gosh, if it's really this easy and I can actually become successful, I'm scared of that because I don't know what that's going to look like. That's a totally reasonable and understandable fear to have. And if we think about it, you have 2 fears. You can either stay as you are and you fear that you're going to stay where you are for the rest of your life, or you can face the fear of doing something new. Either way, you're facing a fear, right? You just have to pick which one you want to face. Do you want to face the fear of not doing what it is you want to do with your life? Or do you want to face the fear of actually doing that and you're not sure what it's going to look like for you and you're not quite sure who you're going to become? Either way, you have to face a fear. You get to pick which one. So I'll tell you a little bit about how we help gamers do this. We opened our Gamer Music Creator Guild in October of 2024. So far in this year alone, we've had 9 clients release 28 professional pieces of music onto Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. And we have 3 OSTs in progress with approximately 30 pieces of music in progress, which have not been released yet, for real games. Now, for people who have never created music before, and I'm talking like zero experience, it takes an average of 65.5 days to go from zero experience to having their music on all streaming platforms using our Gamer Music Creator Guild and already earning royalties from their music. So we get gamers real results with their music. And it's true that what you're seeing right now, it's a small number of clients. You're going 9 in a whole year. Yeah, that's because for this particular program, we keep it small because of the experience and the results we've been able to deliver to a small number of gamers by just focusing on a few gamers at a time. And it's been truly, truly, truly exceptional. You will not find a program like this anywhere in the world. It is night and day different from anything else that you might be familiar with. And this program guarantees results, which I'll talk about later. As a reminder, this is not my first time teaching music. I've been teaching music for over 15 years. I got multiple #1 bestseller books, over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I've dedicated my life to getting gamers amazing results with their music. Here's a look at our client releases so far this year with 30 more pieces of music in different stages of development right now. Let me tell you about Ivan. Or Ivan, as he prefers. So Ivan, codename 9 Times Live. Ivan had no idea how to compose and had never written music before in his life. He joined the Gamer Music Creator Guild and released his first compositions onto YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music in just 58 days. This changed his life because he got control of his art and now in control of his life. And the people in his life noticed a big change in his mood and his outlook. He has more energy and joy for living. So how does the Gamer Music Creator Guild work anyway? Well, it's simple. With a couple just hours a week, we get you everything you need to create professional quality music in any genre and style. We build up your professional portfolio with professional quality music. And then lastly, with strong portfolio and sharpened skills, we partner with you to get your first jobs as a video game music composer and get your first paying job specifically as a composer, all of which you still do part-time while working a job and having times for other things that you enjoy. Now, if you're looking at this and you're going, yeah, I just want to make music for myself and release it, great. You don't have to go get paid to be a composer, and we help you get through step number 2, to be clear, right? Any step along the line, we help you get there. If you don't want to make money and you just want to make art for art's sake, that's fine. I will support you doing that. If you want to make like an artistic statement, like you want to create a piece of music and put it on like a wax cylinder and like send it on a rocket ship to Mars and like no one hears it for 200 years and the first humans on Mars get like, great, I'll help you do that. Okay. So this is a powerful system we use to get gamers to create and release professional quality music and get jobs as composers creating original soundtracks for games. And the Gamer Music Creator Guild is night and day different, again, from any other music program you might be familiar with because we use accountability, community, mentorship, and the perfect amount of information that results in creating music fast, without doubts and fears, easily leveling up music skills with custom-built plans just for you. Help you stay on track with friends, mentors, and accountability, which creates real results for gamers, and we actually do guarantee those results. All this can be done in an average of 7 hours per week, which means you don't need to make time for music every single day. You can knock it out in mornings, lunch breaks, after work, and on weekends. After a shift, before a shift. The best part is you don't need to keep guessing if what you're doing is the right thing for you to spend your time on. You get to turn your brain off of guessing mode and into creation mode and just create amazing music. Now, you're not just going to be learning from me. The Gamer Music Creator Guild will also get you access to lessons from AAA video game of AAA award-winning, I'll get it right. They've composed for AAA games. They've also won awards. AAA award-winning video game composers who compose music for Diablo, Civilization, Undawn, Apex Legends, League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Grid, Godsend Clash of Gods, Heroes of Incredible Tales, Resident Evil, Call of Duty, PUBG Mobile, Magic Legends, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and more like Final Fantasy, Bravo Team, Extinction, Champions of Antera, Terraria, Otherworld, Arena of Valor, Marvel Avengers, Alliance 2, Assassin's Creed Identity, PlanetSide 2, Marvel Strike Force, Transformers Online, Rising Fire, Siege, Time Stand Still, Monster Hunter Online, Eve, Gunjack, Full Tilt Leviathan, Tom Clancy's End War Online, and I Am Alive, and more. So look, how long does it take? You might go, well, that sounds like a lot. So it's a 4-month challenge to transform your life by releasing professional quality music and getting your first paying job as a video game composer. It takes an average of 65 days for someone who comes to our program with 0 experience, do from absolutely nothing to have their music out on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. If you already have some music experience, like you've released some stuff on YouTube, we expect this to happen in less than a month. So how long does it take to get your first job as a music composer? It does depend on a couple things, obviously. How many pieces of music are you able to create in the first part? So how much time are you able to put in? How much time are you willing to put into the program? And how much time are you willing to spend networking and making new connections? So for example, I used the same exact system I'm going to share with you, and I got my first job as a video game composer in less than 4 hours. Now, obviously, I already had a portfolio and a significant musical experience and social media presence. But the point that I'm making for you is that it's not hard or difficult to get work as a composer when you know how to do it. If I could do it in 4 hours, do you think you could do it in a week? Maybe 2? Maybe 3? That's not that long. So we have clients in our Gamer Music Creator Guild who've gotten their first paying jobs in less than 1 week. So the program is a 4-month challenge for people who succeed in the challenge and have released multiple pieces of music and also gotten their first paying gig in the first 80 days. We have another 40 days to help you maximize your results. Keep leveling up your music skills because look, there's always room to grow. There's always room to improve and help you maximize your opportunities, including contract negotiation skills, opportunity maximization to make sure you're getting as much money out of the deals that you're going to be walking into as you can and getting more results. If something comes up, you get sick for 2 weeks in the middle of the program, you go on vacation, great. We have those 40 days as 40 days of grace and make sure we have time to get you those results. Gamers who step up to the plate, put their shoulder and show us that they have put their shoulder to the wheel and really show us that they have work ethic and really want to do this, we actually invite them into ongoing continuing education to help them take their music to the next level because there's always the next thing to learn and grow and continue and to maximize into with music. And you also continue with the support of amazing group of community of gamers and just make friends. And a lot of people just don't want to leave. Real talk, because you get such incredible results and there's such incredible people, and you're just there living out the dream of creating music. And so, yeah. And you rise in status as a composer too, which is always a plus. Now, this program is not open to the public. It is by application only. You must apply to be accepted. Now, when gamers apply and are accepted into our Gamer Music Creator Guild, they get everything that they need to compose music guaranteed. It is the one-stop solution for everything you need to create amazing music. It's been crafted and tested with real clients getting real results. I want to make sure that when you apply, and if you're accepted into the program, you're going to be able to spend the rest of your life being an empowered music creator. You're going to be able to create music that is going to change yourself, that is going to change your life, that is going to change the world, and it's going to touch people's hearts. You're going to play on the heartstrings of yourself and the people you love, the people you care about, and the people you want to reach to make your dreams come true. And if you don't care about the money, fine, no problem. But if you want to contribute and be rewarded for your contributions and make money while you level up your music skills, I want that for you too, and I'll help you make that happen. I want to give you everything that you need. I want to give you the how and the why behind the music. We talked about music theory a little bit in this challenge. We talked about it today. We talked about a teeny tiny bit in this challenge. And you saw how using that can be so helpful for you to create music. And I want to give you everything you need to create music in any genre and style. So this is based off my #1 best-selling Amazon books. I'm going to break it down for you, all the invisible patterns of music you need to craft music in any genre and style so that it makes sense for you. So you can download it into your brain and your heart, and you can use it. So you can save time trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together by yourself. You get the whole puzzle on day one. Look, you're going to avoid wasting focus and time on the wrong things. You can get the right information in the right order at the right time. You're going to avoid falling into the traps of confusion and perfectionism. You're going to avoid waiting to move forward. You're going to avoid spending years of your life and tens of thousands of dollars on other programs that do not give you a guarantee of actually being able to create music, like music schools that I went to, which failed me miserably. I had to go write books to make up for what those schools just did not teach me and failed to teach me. And there was no guarantee, none. When I was first figuring this out, I ran into a big roadblock. I didn't know how to find which theory I needed for creating music, so I had to create a new method for myself and my students. And I do guarantee that if you're accepted into our program, you will create compositions, and I'll tell you more about our guarantee in a minute. Look, back then, I had to go through 5 years of music school, spend over $100,000, then spend years testing out different ways of fixing what I had learned in music school to help my music students actually figure out an efficient way to handle this problem. But I don't want you to have to recreate the wheel. I've already got proven #1 bestseller books and full video courses. So if you're accepted into the Gamer Music Creator Guild, you're going to get instant access to my book, The Best Music Theory Books for Beginners 1, 2, and 3. All of it #1 bestseller in the categories on Amazon, the workbooks, full video courses, and bonuses. This group of courses increases the speed and ease and guarantee of you creating your own music. And if you're thinking, wow, levels 1 through 3, that sounds like a lot, let me tell you what you can get done just with level 1, just a couple of hours of music theory. Jeremiah Rodriguez, codename Small Little Squares. I had no idea how to compose music. Used music theory level 1, released his first composition onto Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music in just 62 days in the Gamer Music Creator Guild. He's now released 6 pieces and has 3 more pieces scheduled on the way. He's opening up to more people around him at a new level. He's expressing himself and making real connections with real people and creating music that has changed his life for the better. Now, this is a streamer who prefers to have their name not revealed, codename Pat the Whale. Again, had no idea how to compose. Came in, just used music theory level 1, released his first compositions on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music in just 51 days. He's now released 4 pieces, and he's working on his first OST. How about EJ, codename Schmo Farino? He already created a few pieces before joining the Gamer Music Creator Guild. He hadn't published them anywhere other than YouTube. He used music theory level 1 and released his first compositions onto Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music in 108 days. Now he's creating and releasing more music every month, and EJ's doing something he's always wanted to do ever since he was a kid, and that lights him up on the inside. And you can see that smile there. He's just loving it. So I want to go back and make sure you realize who this is for. This is for people who play video games, want to compose and create music. You've already released music professionally. This is not for you. If you release music onto YouTube only, this is for you. And this is also for people with 0 experience who want to create their own music. All right. It's 2 people. 0 experience, want to create your own music. Some experience, maybe you've released on YouTube, maybe just have a couple sketches at home. Either way, this is for you. Gamers with some experience, but you can't seem to get all the pieces together to get things off the ground. Because I know we get some younger folks in off YouTube. This is for gamers aged 18 and up. Now, you might be thinking, you can't get started with this right now because you don't have enough time right now. If it's all right, I'm going to give you some tough love coaching on this. Here's why that is a big mistake that's going to hold you back from success for the rest of your life. You will never have time until you make time. Do you feel like you're busy now? Yes. Is it then likely that you're also going to feel busy in the future? Also, yes. So if you're going to feel busy now and you're also going to feel busy in the future, now is the time to get support so you can actually learn the skill of getting stuff done while you feel busy, because you're always going to feel busy for the rest of your life. And that way you can create music for the rest of your life, no matter what comes up. Type a yes in the comments if you're getting this. Now, creating music isn't just about music theory. It's also about how you use that theory and make music work for you. So I made this Gamer Grooves course part of Gamer Music Creator Guild so you can focus on the art and science of creating video game music. You're going to create easily through real life examples from classic and new video games. You can find inspiration in the greats and craft amazing melodies, soaring harmonies, brutal battle themes, and everything in between. You're going to create perfect looping tracks every time. You're going to create dynamic layer tracks that adjust to gameplay. You're going to know exactly what to expect when working with devs. See real examples of AAA video game briefs from companies like Ubisoft for composers, so you have no surprises. You're going to know the exact specifications for sending music out to devs, so you will always look like a pro. And you're going to add your music to indie licensing databases on day one so you can start earning money now. And you're going to avoid feeling lost when it comes to applying music theory to music creation. You're going to avoid looking like a disorganized musician. You're going to avoid surprises in creating music for video games. You're going to avoid surprises when connecting and interacting with devs and studios for major and indie projects. You get the massive advantage from lessons from our guest instructor, AAA video game music composer Jeff Broadbent, who's composed for Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, Extinction, Diablo Immortal, Apex Legends Mobile, Teamfight Tactics, Terraria Otherworld. He did that entire OST, if you know it. League of Legends, Wild Rift, Resident Evil, Resistance, Undawn, Avatar, Avengers Alliance 2, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Marvel Strike Force, Monster Hunter Online, Transformers Rise of Darkspark, and many, many other games. And to prove that no matter how far you've come, you can still grow. Here's my name Dan, codename Music Mentor Dan, had lots of previous music experience, had #1 best-selling music books, had music released on record labels, and had music played on radio, toured internationally, already helped gamers create and release their own music, used 2 things from Jeff's course, and got his first job as a video game composer in less than 4 hours. So look, writing music isn't just about compositions. Think about it. Weight of the World from Nier, Rivers in the Desert from Persona, Crush 40 songs from Sonic. The list goes on. To be clear, you do not have to write songs which have someone singing and saying words, but you will have the complete system available to you if you decide you want to do that later, so you can. You're going to focus on each area of writing songs to hone your craft. You're going to get inspired and find the initial spark or idea to write a song about as you create something unique, avoiding cliches and plagiarism. You're going to write meaningful, appropriate, and engaging lyrics as you craft a melody that complements the lyrics and effortlessly find the right chords to accompany the melody. You know, when I was first figuring this out, I ran into so many roadblocks. I got tied up with knowing too little about songwriting, and I knew nothing about music theory, and my entire creativity was so limited because I just didn't know what was available to me. And back then, I had to go read dozens of books, experiment with trial and error by myself, bring in co-songwriters, but I don't want you to have to make the same mistakes I made all over again. But what I've learned, I've written hundreds of songs, released dozens of those, co-written and written by myself. I've had 2 of my songs placed on indie charts. And in addition to my songwriting experience, I brought in master songwriter Bob Halligan Jr. to fine-tune and round out the entire part of the system. Bob's written songs for Cher, Judas Priest, Kiss, and has sold over 60 million records. He has multiple gold and platinum records to his name, and you get the best of him and me combined in the system. And if you're accepted, I'm going to give you the complete super songwriter success system with the Gamer Music Creator Guild. Now, when you create music, you're going to want to compose in different genres and create music that sounds professional and polished that you can feel proud of. So you can easily create music in any genre and get it to release-ready status. And this includes all the steps I've used to get the music to be release-ready quality, to have it released on record labels. And I use this to get my Gamer Music Creator Guild clients' music to professional quality as well. And to be clear, this is everything you need to know to get your music release-ready with instrumental composition music, period, full stop. Now, obviously, You might want to share your music with the world. You also might not. But if you do, it feels good to share music. So we include artist success in the Gamer Music Creator Guild so you can release music, earn money from your music, and get yourself out into the world. You're going to release music on all platforms if you want to. No pressure if you don't want to. You're going to optimize your routine. You're going to earn money as a composer, and you're going to set up your money magnet system for collecting royalties from everywhere your music goes. I had to learn all this through trial and error. I invested hundreds of hours to get this right. I had to go to literally secret, unpublished industry insider conferences with the heads of record labels and Spotify executives to learn some of this stuff. And you get to skip all the mistakes I've made releasing my own music on record labels and by myself, and you get to make money from your music. Cool. Are you getting this? Type yes if you are getting this. Now let's look at Alex Smith, codename Exivot. He was already creating music. He used Gamer Music Creator Guild and the Artist Success course specifically. He released his first compositions on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music in just 51 days, not 151 days. In 51 days, he's now released 4 pieces of music, and he's working on his first OST. How about Christian, codename Skiazza, was already creating music before he joined. Used Gamer Music Creator Guild and specifically the Artist Success course. He released his first compositions on a Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music in 82 days in our program. He's now released 4 pieces and has 2 albums that he's working on right now with video game inspired music. Now, when you apply, and if you are accepted today, you will get access to all the courses for free for the next 4 months. You got 4 months, so you don't need to make any decisions around these courses right now. So I want to go back and make sure you realize who this is for. For 2 types of people. It's for people who play video games, who want to compose music and create music. The 2 types of people. 1, with 0 experience. 2, already creating music. You can have some stuff published on SoundCloud, some stuff published on YouTube. That's great. We'll help you take it all the way to the finished product and actually help you fill out all those missing pieces. Now, you already get the courses for how to create and release professional quality music in any genre for free. But what about the software, sounds, and effects you need to create music in any genre? Well, we get you 1.5 terabytes of the best music software, instrument, sounds, and effects available. We even send you a solid state drive to store all your instruments on so you can have x-ray ears to understand all the music you hear in your mind and feel in your heart. These are from our educational partners at Native Instruments, iZotope, Brainworks, and FL Studio, Noteflight, and Earmaster. You're going to hear what music sounds like as you write it so you can stop guessing and create without friction. You have quick start templates to start making music now. You're going to compose in any software, bring your music to release ready status. You're going to compose in any genre and style using the best music software available. And this is the stuff that the pros use to craft game music in any genre and style and instantly know exactly what is happening in any music you hear. So you know exactly what's going on in your mind and in your heart. And you're going to increase your musical fluency so you can express and write compositions and songs without stopping to think in any genre and style. Now, when I was first figuring this out, I ran into some major roadblocks of like writing everything on paper, and I had no idea what it sounded like. And then I had to go literally write it on paper like a caveman, learn to play the guitar and piano for like 5 years each, just to be able to hear what I was doing. I had to figure all this stuff out and find the right software also took me years of trial and error. This is instant imagination creation. Back then, I had to go learn to play guitar, piano. I don't want you to have to spend decades learning to play an instrument. I'm going to give you the complete create without friction package here. This is like pure inspiration. So you don't need any extra gear. You don't need to buy anything else. You have everything you need to create incredible professional quality music in any genre and style from day one. Now, to be clear, this is everything you need to get your music release ready in any genre and style of music. All the instruments, loops, plugins, meters, effects, everything. How about Dylan? Codename Scrap Matrix was already creating music, used all the courses and software, released his first 4 compositions on a Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music in 85 days. He is now working on his first OST and more releases on the way. And he just hit over 700 monthly listeners on Spotify. So look, you've already got the courses for how to create and release professional quality music in any genre for free, and the software and the sounds and the effects you need to create music in any genre. But what about getting your music into that final polish that it takes it from like great all the way up to AAA professional amazingness? Well, you get this guy, Robert L. Smith, to polish your tracks for release. You get the AAA professional quality difference that 2 Grammys and 1 Oscar award gets you in terms of sound. With no change to your artistic vision, it just magnifies your composition to be the best, most polished it can sound. And this is the same exact process almost all AAA game composers go through before releasing their music on streaming services. Your tracks get the same treatment so they have that AAA pop, sizzle, crunch, boom, and power. So you get all the courses, the software, professional help to polish your music. You still need to follow through and take action. So you're going to join a community of gamers who are blasting their way through creating and releasing professional quality music, building their portfolios, and creating their first OSTs as you forge ahead with unstoppable momentum and weekly one-on-one and semi-private coaching. You're going to join a community of gamer music creators just like you, connect and grow with real people. You get one-on-one lessons with me to implement and action everything tailored to your unique goal. And you get to access the one and only of its kind weekly semi-private music mastermind session with fellow music makers. And you also get accountability based on your goals and your dreams, and you effortlessly stay on track with daily encouragement and cheerleading. And this gets you faster results. This gets you a custom map to your dreams that I'm going to sit down and design with you in a one-on-one call. So you're going to avoid feeling alone. You're going to avoid losing track of where you're going. You're going to avoid losing momentum. You're going to avoid not knowing what your next step is. You're going to avoid the confusion and lack of focus of not having a clear path. And the Gamer Music Creator Guild is a group of friends who, number one, nerd out over music. Number two, nerd out over video game music. Number three, nerd out over video games. Number four, we give and receive help from each other and to each other as a community. This is an application process because this is a curated experience where gamers grow and flourish into the best versions of themselves through music. Look at the faces of these people in this screenshot. This is in one of our music masterminds. These are happy, normal gamers, just like you, having a great time hanging out and working together, working on music. Now, since we're always growing and improving, you get immediate access to all updates, new books, new courses, and new software that we add every month. Now, to be clear, all the results you have seen that I've shown you have been with the software and the courses, everything that I've shown you. I'm holding nothing back here. And because I'm a music teaching nerd, I make new courses anyway. I get interested in a thing. I'm like, oh, let's explore the music of whatever, Pokemon Red. I'm going to make you a course on that. Makes sense? Cool. So to be clear, not only do you get every book, course, software application I've shown you today, you get every single new book, new course, new software we release. It's kind of like Netflix for gamers who want to just get better at creating music, and it's all in one place. You can access it at any time. You can even request new courses, features, and books, and then sit back and relax as we make them for you. And to be clear, we have tons of books and courses planned and in the works to release, and you get all of them included at no additional charge. You can actually see what we've done here in the past couple of months in terms of adding new things. We've got a whole bunch of new courses we're working on, we're filming, we're editing, and we're releasing. Now, if you apply today and you are accepted, you'll get instant access to the complete level 1 through 3 invisible patterns of music called Music Theory, Gamer Groove, so you can create video game music with guest instructor Jeff Broadbent, Super Songwriter Success System, so you can craft amazing songs in addition to compositions, Instrumental Inspiration, so you can easily take your music you hear in your head and feel in your heart and bring it out into the world at a polished professional level, Art of Success, so you can share your music and start making money now. You get all this for free for the next 4 months. You also get instant imagination creation pack with over 1.5 terabytes of music, sounds, software, loops, effects, everything you need to create music from our partners Native Instrument, iZotope, Brainworks, and FL Studio. You get 2-time Grammy Award-winning engineer to help polish your compositions, AAA perfection, and the complete growth and accountability success system to get you on the path and support you reaching your dreams. You also get free updates, every new book, every new course, every new release, every new software we release at no additional charge. And with these systems in place, I guarantee that you will create at least 20 professional quality pieces of music in the next 90 days, or I will work with you for free until you do create 20 professional quality pieces of music. No questions asked. You win no matter what. You will get the result that you want. Just follow the steps I show you, and if for some strange reason you can't create amazing music after 90 days, I will work with you for free until you do. Now, to be clear, this is not a $300 video course. Now, while I'm not going to drop a price in this session because we tailor this package to your specific goals and needs, if you believe this is something for you in your life, I encourage you to apply now. Because I'm the gatekeeper and I will be taking the calls personally, you need to be booked today, and calls need to happen by midnight Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. I only have so many hours in the day I can give to taking applications, so there are a limited number of spots to talk to me. Because I and my team will be giving you personal attention every day to make sure you get the best results, I only have room for a few people in our new group. When these slots are sold out, we will be letting everyone know that it's over. So if all slots are filled out by Tuesday, we'll be letting everyone know who's booked for Wednesday, hey, it's over. We get results, so we keep this small, we keep this tight, because we'll be guiding everyone who's accepted into the program personally. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I'll just wait till Dan does another one of these challenges, then I'll apply then. And it's true, I may want to run another one of these in the future. But here's why waiting to apply would be a big mistake. We just finished setting up our Facebook, YouTube, and email. So once you sign up for this challenge, we actually never show you an ad for this again. And we never send you an email about it in the future. This is designed to actually save us money so we can reach new people, invite them to come apply. But it also means you will not see our ads or emails for this again in the future. So even if we do decide to run it in the future, you will not know about it. So if you feel that this is right for you, you should apply now. Also, once the slots that are open sell out, that's it. We're done. We're sold out. We don't have any more room to take any more clients because the amount of care and attention you're going to get if you're accepted into the program. So to recap, if you apply today and you're accepted, you're going to get instant access to the complete level 1 through 3 invisible patterns of music called Music Theory. Gamer groups, you can create video game music with guest instructor Jeff Broadbent. Super songwriter success systems, you can craft amazing songs in addition to compositions. Instrumental inspirations, you can take easy steps to take the music you hear in your head and feel in your heart and bring it out into the world at a polished professional level. Art of Success, you can share your music by starting to make money now, and you can get all this for free for the next 4 months. You get Instant Imagination Creation Pack with over 1.5 terabytes of music, sound, software, loops, and effects, everything you need to create music from our partners at Native Instruments, iZotope, Brainworks, and FL Studio, 2-time Grammy-winning engineer to polish your music to perfection, and the complete growth and accountability success system to get you on the path and support to reaching your dreams. Free updates, every new book, every new course, every new software we release included at no additional charge. Here's my crazy bonus for you right now. When you apply right now, and if you are accepted, you will get access to all the courses for free for life, and you will even get all the new courses we put out included for free for life too. So go ahead and click the link I'm going to put in the chat. There you go. Click the link I put in the chat and take your next step to composition and your music making career. Just click the link in the chat, answer a few short questions, and book a time that works for you. After you book your time, come back here and type me in the chat so I know you're all set and you have applied. Go now. Like, go now. Go apply now. Go get your spot now. Like, leave. Go now. Question 1. You might be saying, well, look, it seems like a lot to go through, and you're right, it is a lot. But you're only going to do the parts that really matter to you and that you actually need to do, and I'm going to be giving you only parts you need to do when you need to do it. I'm going to be guiding you every single step of the way. That's how I create my courses, so it's easy for you to understand. So you can take that knowledge and you can use it. If you're still on the fence, now is the time to click the link in the comments and get started. The only way for you to know if this is right for you is to get started now. So go ahead, click the link I put in the comments and take the next step in your music journey with me. Just click the link and book a time that works for you. After you book your time, come back and type me in the chat so I know that you are all set. Look, if you're the type of person who wants more proof, I advise you to apply now and then check out our website. You lose nothing by applying, and you can watch all of our testimonials, everyone I've shared with you today. You can go listen to their music. You can go watch their testimonials. We run a completely transparent ship. You can literally listen to the results. Go check all that out, but do it after you apply so you can have your slot down. Okay? I say this only to help you because space is limited. Apply now, then you can spend the rest of the time between now and your application call watching proof videos. Okay, now here's some tough love coaching. Remember I said I was going to give you some tough love coaching. Here we go. All right. Now, do you think it's okay to dip into your savings or leverage your credit card and spend money that you might not have to get started today? This is a serious question. Do you think it's okay or not? Some people say yes. Some people say no. Let's talk about this for a minute. Every month, money replenishes, right? But this is the key. Time does not replenish. It disappears. So you could go out and spend years or decades of your time trying to figure out how music works, but you're never going to get that time back. Instead, you could save that time and effort because I've already spent it for you and work directly with me instead. It will cost you money to get started, but that money will come back, whereas your time from family and friends and wasted effort is gone forever. I will say this, habits are really hard to change. I could leave this challenge right now and go hang out with my fiance for the rest of the afternoon. I already know how to compose music. I already know how to produce music. I already know how to write songs. This is already working for me, but it's not about me. This is about you. If you leave now without applying, you might think you learned a lot of cool stuff, but my guess is that by tomorrow morning, you have already slipped back into your normal routines, right? You just do what you've always done. That's what most people do. But because I'm your coach, I'm your friend, I'm your mentor, if you take a step toward me and apply, I'm not going to let you go back to your old habits. I'm going to make sure you're successful by breaking them. If you want real, lasting change, you need repeated exposure to the full system. And that's what I'm offering you when you apply by booking a call now, today. Now, I've shown you how the whole system works. I've shown you how you can create professional quality music in any genre. I've shown you that you only need some books, courses, and coaching for all that to work. But you know what? To be successful with this, you're going to need a little bit more than just information alone. I know you can be successful with the system, but you're going to need coaching. You need to have your unique questions that are going to have unique answers. And you might need help in the accountability department too. Let me tell you, I take my job as a coach very seriously. I will not let you quit on yourself, and we will go through everything together. I can't do that with just a few courses and books. Information alone won't cut it. My success rate when people go at it by themselves is not that great, right? Because they go, they start, they get distracted and whatever, right? I've got no control over that. But my success rate for those who work with me one-on-one, when they're my client, I'm their coach, is 99%. Right? If information was enough, you could have just turned to YouTube. You need a guide who's been there before, who can take you there right now. I've been doing this music coaching thing for a long time. And I found that there are only two kinds of people: those who are good at making music and those who are good at making excuses. You cannot be both. If you're the one making excuses, I hate to say it, but in my experience, you are not going to have a successful career in music. You're going to have a really hard time creating music. The good news is you get to choose. In this moment, you get to choose which type of person you want to be. I invite you, don't be someone who makes excuses. Be someone who actually creates music they can be proud of. Click the link and apply now. You're not going to miss anything. Go click the link, apply now, then come back and comment me once you have filled that out. Now, I'm guessing there's two kinds of gamers listening to me right now. You're either a doer or a dabbler. The dabblers love to sit and listen and learn, but they rarely ever do anything and often look for an excuse not to move forward. Some of you are doers. If you're not sure if this will work for you, but you're willing to see, and you can see that it's worked for me, and you can see that it's worked for other people, so you have faith that this is going to work for you as well. What I've found is that it's the doers who really get ahead in life, while the dabblers don't ever really seem to make progress. When you're ready to change your life, this is what you need to start doing. First, go ahead, click on the link in that Discord chat. Then you're going to fill out the form on the page that you land on, submit the form, then come back here and reply me in the chat so I know you've locked in your time. Take action and apply now. Now I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions. Do not wait. Book your call. These questions are answered. I will answer them later. So like you can come back and watch this. Go book the call now. Blake, I see you. Guys, do what Blake just did. Blake already booked. Blake's got the right idea. Okay, question. How long have I been teaching music? I've been teaching music for over 15 years. It is all that I do. I have multiple #1 bestseller music books, over 20 million views on YouTube, over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I've created and released music for video games, record labels, and have my music played on the radio. The list goes on. Question. How do I know this is legit? Just look at our hundreds of testimonials, from the video testimonials on our website to our Amazon reviews. We help hundreds of people get better at music every single month. Question. How do the payments make sense? Is it like 2 payments or 1 payment? Like what goes on? We'll figure that out on your application call, depending, number one, if you are accepted first. This is not a public offer. First, you are accepted. And then if you are accepted, we can talk about an investment. All right. Do I need to have music experience to join? No, you don't need any previous musical experience. We look for passion and a willingness to learn. And if you've played an instrument or sang or even tried creating music before, that's a bonus. Question. What makes music professional quality? Professional quality music is like finished AAA video game music. Every texture is sharp. Like the sounds are tight. It feels alive. It's not as simple as just making something in FL Studio. Otherwise, everyone would have professional quality music. It's a 3-step process. Number 1, creation composition. Number 2, balancing all the parts of the music. And number 3, getting it polished for a professional shine and sound. What kind of DAW do you need to use? We can use any kind of DAW. Most people in our program are using FL Studio or Logic Pro. We have a couple of people using Ableton. Any type of DAW works for this. If you have no digital audio workstation, you're like, what's a DAW? Don't worry about it. We got you covered. And I'll explain all that to you later on. It's basically just how you make music. It's software for making music. And we get you an access code for FL Studio. All right. How long is the program going to be? It's a 4-month challenge where you get your music to professional quality and released on all streaming platforms. Question. Are there any specific DAWs or plugins you use? You can use any DAW. If you don't have one, we're going to get you FL Studio at no additional charge. Question, are there any sample packs or templates or something like that that are provided with this program? Yes, you have over 1.5 terabytes of music software, instrument, templates, sample packs included with the Gamer Music Creator Guild. Question, would the program include exercises or walkthroughs like composing certain kinds of music? Like maybe I was wondering about like adaptive music or looping music specifically. Yes, the AAA video game music composer guest instructor, Jeff, who has made music for Call of Duty, Diablo, Assassin's Creed, and other AAA titles, will walk you through step-by-step how to make dynamic music and looping music. Are there assignments for this type of program? Yes, you will get personalized assignments that are tailored to you and your specific goals. What would you expect me to be able to do by the end of the program? For our VIP, we'd expect you to have 20 professional quality pieces of music released on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and you're either in talks to start your first OST as like a composer working on a game, or you've actually already started creating your first OST for your first game. Are there networking resources? Question, are there networking resources with this community? Answer, yes. Many of our clients are actively releasing professional quality music on all streaming platforms and working on OSTs for games in production, or have released their first OSTs and are working on more projects. These are people who you want to be around and build friendships with, because these are the people who are getting stuff done. Question, will you want to hear any music I've made on the application call? Yes. If you have made music, no matter how you feel about it, put it up on an unlisted YouTube video or SoundCloud or Dropbox or Google Drive, or maybe you just have it here on Discord because it's your first composition. Either way, I am going to want to listen to what you created on the application call. Start filling out your application now. You are not going to miss anything. All these questions and more, you can come back and re-watch this. Question, I want to know, with all your experience, all the different students you've had, where do people usually fall off the wagon or slowed down? It's when people get scared about becoming that new version of themselves that's actually doing the thing that's the dream. And like we talked about, there's two fears. You can either have the fear of not taking action for the rest of your life and the fear of knowing you're going to stay still, or you can have the fear of actually facing something new. Either way, you've got to face fear and you've got to make a choice. So which one do you want to choose? Which version of yourself do you want to be? What do you want the story of your life to be like? When you look back, you're 80, 85 years old. You want to look back at your life. What's the story you want to have? What memories do you want to have? Anyone can create professional music and professional quality music with the right tools and the right coaching. If you used to believe you weren't good enough, you didn't deserve it, or any of these stories, you don't need these stories anymore. That's it. That's it. That's literally it. Okay, question. What do you offer that cannot be offered, like if you're self-taught? We save you 10 years of messing around and not getting the results. A guarantee of results, a community of friends on the same path as you, mentorship, accountability, and the right information that you don't have to spend another 10 years going to try and figure out. Like we talked about, there's 3 ways of getting better at music. Lonely Black Hole, I see you. All right, how many sessions with you are there? And for how long? So we meet every week for 4 months. That's 16 one-on-one sessions and also 16 semi-private music masterminds. And you also have unlimited Q&A music reviews with me in the community. Question, how long until I see results? Answer, depends on how fast you take action. The shortest time we've seen someone release a piece of music was 23 days. The longest for someone to get their piece of music out was 116 days. These are both outliers and not a common result for us, which is why I talk about the average when I talk about our program. We typically see people take about 2 months to get their first piece out into the world, which is 60 days. Now, I'm not quoting you the exact number. It was 65 as of this morning. That number does change usually a couple times a week because we have a new person come in, release new music, and then we factor that number into the average, right? Okay. Now, question. I've been through other programs that were theoretical. How do I know this is different? This is all practical, action-based steps with exercises every week. We focus on implementation, not just theory. We get you results, period. Pariaxo, I see you. Question, if I purchase now, can I start later? Yes. Buy now, lock in the price. You can start whenever you want. But to be clear, that is if you are accepted. Question, what if I prefer to listen instead of watch videos? Answer, no problem. Don't watch your screen or your phone. We provide video, audio, books, workbooks usable on any device. You can just listen to it. Question, I'm scared and uncertain. Answer, that is normal. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. It's a good sign that you are about to grow. Doing something new. Yes. First time riding on a roller coaster. Was it a little scary? Yes. This is too. Yes, that's normal. Totally normal. Question, what if I have doubts that I'll complete the program? Answer, you get a custom map, a menu of specific actions for you to take to reach your goal to help you get there We have progress tracking, coach check-ins, daily accountability check-ins, and semi-private coaching calls to keep you on track. Question, is this for beginners or gamers who already create music? We've covered this. Both. Beginners, learn everything from scratch. Gamers who already create music, move directly into creating and releasing music at a professional level after you fill in any gaps they have. Question, I have no experience. Can I use this? Answer, yes. We teach you everything step by step from the ground up. Question, how can I become a composer quickly? Answer, focus on one specific genre. This program shows you how to do that fast. Question, I've tried other programs and failed. How do I know this works? Answer, we cover the full process end to end with proven results. In the past, you were missing one or all the key ingredients for music success: community mentorship, information, and accountability. Question, does this include sound design? Answer, one of the biggest mistakes I've seen in helping hundreds of clients is that when they split their focus on too many things, they end up not getting what they want. Because they split their focus, they never make progress and they never get the real results they're after. Of course, you can do sound design. In this program, we focus first on getting you the result of creating amazing music at professional quality in any genre, period. That's the first thing we do. Then we can talk about everything else. Question, can I learn to play an instrument or improve my instrument skills at the same time as this course? Answer, of course, you can do whatever you want. And we have courses and books to help with guitar and piano. I mentioned again that I've seen the biggest issue that slows people down in music creation is the split of focus. You can do everything in music, you just can't do it all at once with a few hours a day. So focus on creating amazing music, get that result, and then come back and do whatever else you want. Get it so you can do that creation and then do whatever else you want with your instrument skills. There is a link in the video description of this video and pinned in the comments below this video to apply for the Gamer Music Creator Guild. And if that's something you feel like would be good for you in your life, I invite you to apply. See you in the next video.